how long have you been trying to add distance to your driver? If you're anything like my students, they're putting so much effort into hitting this club a little bit longer, but they're just not getting the reward that they deserve. In fact, what they often find that they come to me with, they have to say, Danny, I seem like all my clubs at the top end of my bag, like hybrid, fairwood to driver, they're all going a similar distance, and no matter what I try and do, I don't get any distance. So in this video, I'd love to share with you what I always show my students, which is the catapult method. It's something I introduced many, many years ago, and it really helps my student generate what I like to call effortless power. Basically, with no extra effort, you can increase your clubhead speed and generate extra yards by changing just a couple of things in your swing. In this video, I just want to share with you exactly what that is in the hope that it helps you as much as it does my students. Before I do though, look, if you're new to the channel, it's one of your first videos of mine, please consider subscribing. At least videos just like this one every single week to try and help you improve your game. Plus you never have to remember a thing. Everything I do here, I'll put into a free downloadable practice guide in the description box below. So what is the secret to effortless power? Super simple. You need to turn yourself into a human catapult. I know it sounds ridiculous, and when I say this to my senior students, they go, Danny, do not break me, don't break me. But by the time they finish, they realize it won't hurt your body. In fact, it makes things so much easier. So what is a catapult? How does it work, and how can you turn yourself into one? Well, let's show you this. So ultimately, a catapult looks like this. We have something fairly stable at the top, and then we accelerate, look, the bottom, and whoops, and this club catapults. Most people, unfortunately, when they swing, they have a movement that basically gets the upper part and the lower part almost working like this together, right? And there's no speed at the bottom, right? So once you understand that, we start to turn yourself into some form of catapult. We then need to find a way to slightly extend the length of your swing. And this is where a lot of my senior students get a bit worried. So I don't have the flexibility. I'm going to show you one trick how you get it in a second. Because if I only swing to here, I don't have a lot of time to put force into this club. Look at the force I can put in now. So if we can turn you into a catapult and just increase that length just a little bit with one single tweak around your head, we should be able to generate some effortless yards that you're going to absolutely love. So if you take a look at those two swings, it's quite clear that one is putting loads of energy and effort in and not getting much reward, and the other one looks more fluid, more effortless, and getting a substantial increase in distance. So what is the difference? Well, one, I've turned myself into basically a human catapult. And if you take a look at any of the top players, as they come through impact here, you will notice that when they're coming through, their pelvis is going to be ahead of their upper chest, and their upper chest is going to be ahead of their head. And what this basically means is, look, they've turned their body into a catapult, right? Versus what you'll see with the shortest hitters I've seen is this. You will see that their head and their chest is ahead the other way. And what they've done is they've simply moved through the shot like this. They haven't turned their body into a catapult, so ultimately the head and the hands are all working at the same, almost the same rate, so they don't hit it very far. So whether you are a senior golfer looking for extra yardage or a young player, what I want to do now is just show you how you can start to turn yourself into this human catapult. So let's just get TrackMan back on, and we're going to focus on something super, super simple. We're going to focus on just your head, and that's all we're going to focus on today, because this is how you can really learn to feel it. So a lot of players, what you'll see is this. When they set up to the golf ball, I want you to get your eyes kind of looking downwards towards the ground. So your head, just your chin working downwards here. It's looking straight at the golf ball. Now, what a lot of players, and I saw this with my dad recently, who was really struggling with distance, they make a backswing like this. And the eyes are still looking level. If your eyes are still looking this way here, and your ears are pointing either side, there's no way I can make a longer swing than this, right? So I'm already screwed. So the length, amount of power I can generate in this club has already been restricted. So what I want you to do is unbelievably simple. I want you to use your ears or your eyes. I want you to imagine lasering the circle of the swing like this. You're going to laser the arc of the swing. As you do this, what do you notice about where my ears are going? This lead ear, look, is pointing towards the ground, and my trail ear is pointing up towards the sky. They're at an angle. Now, this is important. This is the first start, a look of starting to create the catapult, right? But what it's also doing is it's improving your mobility. If I'm able to kind of allow my eyes to move here, and my head to tilt this way, I'm able to continue moving my shoulders. If I'm able to move my shoulders, I'm able to keep extending the length of this golf club, right? Now, with my senior students, I really get them. They have to move their head on an arc much, much more than my younger clients. Because by them moving their head here, look, and almost feel like they're pouring water out of their lead ear, they're able to extend the length of this club and therefore have more time to generate more speed into the back of the golf ball with no extra effort. My younger students, they won't move nowhere near as much as this. Why? Because they've got the mobility in their shoulders and their neck. They can keep their head almost pointed. They still have a little arc on it, but not maybe as much as the senior students. But really, please, 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 just get your eyes working on an arc and pour water out of that lead ear. Do not do, when people say, oh, I need to turn longer, swing longer, do this. Now suddenly my eyes have worked on a level, my ears are too level, I've moved off the golf ball, now I'm in real trouble, I'm miles away from the golf ball here, this is where we ruin all our contact and strike. Yes, we've turned longer, but we're gonna have to get back to the golf ball, and that's when people start to shove this club over the top. So you've done the first bit of turning your backswing into that pendulum, that human pendulum here. The next thing, again, just keep focusing around the head. What do you think you need to do? Imagine lasering the eyes on this arc here, and then on the way through, look, we're gonna imagine lasering the eyes on this angle. So now look, my trail ear is pointing towards the ground, and I'm pouring water out this side, and look, I'm firing through this way, right? Does that make sense? So we're literally lasering this entire arc all with our head, and we're using our head as the guide to your entire golf swing. So like I said to my students, we're gonna do this just in 2 steps. The first step is we're gonna make sure you're gonna learn the feeling of a slightly longer golf swing. And then what I wanna do is I'm gonna give you a simple routine that I gave a recent student of mine, Damien, that you can take straight to the golf course and really experience this. So stage 1, let's just get used to swinging a little bit longer. This can be scary for people. If you're out there and you've been hitting driver everywhere, it's understandable that you want to stay kind of close to that golf ball. But you need to build some trust. You need to build some confidence in this. I promise you, it really is worthwhile. Just imagine here, and you get yourself set, just imagine I'm tilting, I'm just about to pour water out of my lead ear, almost on, feel like it's onto the golf ball here, and keep turning, and now I'm looking at the golf ball, look, down, I'm just still looking down here, but I can still see the ball even though I'm tilting this way. And that increases that length of the swing. For now, just focus on that. Completely maybe ignore the follow through bit. Just get used to building confidence in a longer motion through increased mobility in the neck. Okay, simple as that. So start with that. Don't worry about follow throughs or anything to start with. Just build some confidence in increasing the length of your swing. It's not as easy as it sounds initially. People still want to keep the head dead still, afraid of missing the ball. Allow it to tweak, really build that length up, and let it just absolutely flow. Once you've built that confidence up, one thing I love, and I get my students to take to the golf course, is just reverse engineering this process. So turn yourself, again, feel what it's like to turn yourself into this catapult. This wouldn't be a catapult. This would be a catapult, yeah? I'm catapulting the club through because this lower body's gone through, it's ahead of my chest, it's ahead of my head, and I'm catapulting the club. All we got to do to do that is get yourself set up. From here, look, push your weight slightly further forward here in this position. This adds a little bit of tilt to your body. And then when you're coming through, look, watch this. All I'm going to do now is going to turn through on that circle. As I'm turning on the circle, look, I'm pouring water out of my trail ear, and I'm just tracing that line all the way through. What I'm not doing, look, is keeping that head level. I'm basically tracing that line with my eyes and pouring water out. And all this is doing is going to help you look to realize, oh, I am there through impact. This is the catapult versus, look, the lunge, the over the top swing. Make sense? So get ourselves set. Same principle here, look. Head's looking down towards the golf ball. Put my weight forward, hover above the ball, pivot. Where's my ear? Pointing towards the ground, really kind of get a sense of that. Okay, right. That's my destination. And away I go. That'll do. All right. So build mobility around your head. Allow the eyes to almost laser in the arc of the golf swing, or even use your ears as a guideline look to kind of create the swing, but also to create the mobility and create the catapult. The more your eyes work a level, the more you're basically removing the catapult, the more you start to get the eyes working this way, the more we create the catapult with the body, and that's how you start to create effortless power and more yardage with your game. If you'd love to see me actually giving one of this example to one of my students, check this video out right here. And of course, look, if you're new to the channel, press that subscribe button down here. And if you'd like more personalized help from myself, look in the description box below and head over to dannymaude.com. But until next week, have a wonderful golfing week.